Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you one of the best PvE hunter builds. Now, I've made a video previously on this and the other build is really well and you guys seem to love it. So I thought I would make a brand new PvE hunter build. Now if you want me to do one on Warlock and Titan and redo a different class, then I'm more than happy to, because I do have quite a few more builds ready to go out. So just let me know if you guys like it. Remember to leave a like on these builds because they do take a long time to make. And I do really think this one's going to work really well. But before we do start with today's build, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, and we are getting close to that 30k milestone, so if you could drop a sub, it would help out a lot. Now jumping onto the build, starting off with the subclass. Now we are bottom tree Night Stalker, and what we're going to be using is Vortex Grenade, Gambler's Dodge. It's up to you what you want to use. I prefer Gambler's Dodge, Triple Jump, and then obviously it's bottom tree because this does actually have some of the best DPS overall. Probably is the best DPS sort of build you can go for. So you can go invisible with the RB, and plus this is a main perk here, Mobius Quiver. I've talked about this before. Fire Shadow Shot multiple times in rapid succession. Shadow Shot deals massive damage against tethered enemies. Defeating tethered enemies creates orbs of light and grants nearby allies the Heart of the Pack buff. Now the Heart of the Pack buff is what makes this build really good as well. So pretty much anything you're doing, once you tether something and you're near your teammates, you are going to get a damage buff, which will be quite a lot, and you will see the significant damage buff you get. So that is the build. Let me know if you change anything on this, and like I said, this is my opinion, this is a build I've come up with, so there probably are areas we can improve. So down in the comment section, make sure you're letting me know where we can improve on this. Now weapons wise, this is what I've been running and it seems to work really well. It's no surprise, Mountain Top, one of the best, easiest sort of weapons to use and get kills with. You can use a Witherhoard if you guys really want, maybe it does a little bit more damage, but for me I prefer the Mountain Top. The weapons are totally customizable, you don't have to use this. Then we do have our God Roll Last Hope. This thing is definitely one of the best PvE weapons also. And then we do have this sword right here with Whirlwind Blade and Tireless Blade. Really good combo, and it will show you at the end of this video when I show you some gameplay of this build how well this actually does. Now like I normally do with all my builds, I'll show you the stats. Now I just want to say, this is simply because I don't really have any PvE armor anymore, because I've got rid of it and trying to get a new set. So this is my PvP one, so obviously the mobility and recovery are quite high for this, but you guys that play PvE will have sort of builds for this as well. I'm mainly PvP, but like I said, I threw away pretty much my best PvE setup, trying to get a new one for the new season. So just, I'll tell you what you want for this. Now the one I've managed to get isn't bad. What you're looking for, to be fair, is these three right here for this build: Recovery, Discipline and Intellect. The other three don't really matter too much. Resilience, you can get to at least 5 if you can, but try and aim for these as high as 100 as possible. The main one you're going to want is probably Discipline for this build, considering we're going to be using a lot of grenades and that sort of thing. So use Discipline, Recovery and Intellect. So with that out the way, let's talk about the helmet. Now for the helmet, what we did go for is this right here. Now I'm going to put this on here because we've got that extra slot. Now some of these, obviously, just take into consideration you're going to need the same element for this, and you can swap and change them if you guys want to make them suitable for your standard. But we're running Recovery on this with special ammo, just so we constantly have that flow of special ammo, because it does really improve it, especially in PvE. Then we do have sidearm targeting just for that extra perk, and it does help quite a lot with the aim down sight speeds for the Last Hope. Going on to the arms, what we're running is another recovery mod, Fastball, just so we can fire them grenades quite far. And to be honest, there isn't really another perk that I really wanted, so what I wanted is faster reload for sidearms, and that's just because I am using a sidearm. If you guys are using something different, like I said, you're more than welcome to, then obviously you won't need that as such. But because pretty much Feeding Frenzy got a little nerf. That just helps it speed up the process even more, so that is why we run that there. Now this is where the build gets really interesting, and on our chest piece we've got Discipline. Here we have Breach Resonator, which is off the artifact this season. Overload Grenades, so Void Grenades cause disruption, delaying ability energy, regeneration and lowering competence, damage output, strong against Overload champions. Same goes for this against Shield Piercing, and these are the mods that I've got pretty much as the artifact, so make sure you're copying these mods if you haven't already. So there they are. Now that's a chest piece done. We just need this one here, which is Taking Charge, which is going to be a really overpowered mod. Now this, if you don't have this, don't worry, this is just a little bit of extra damage you can get from the build. If you don't have this, you can run Powerful Friends, anything like that that's going to help. But for this build, this is pretty much becoming charged build. So by picking up Ob's Light, you become charged, and I'll explain later on why that's handy. Now here what we do have is pretty much my Orpheus rigs. Now to be honest, we should really change them, but like I said, I'm running out of materials, so I've kept them here. Doesn't really matter. The only reason you're going to want to use this is simply for this perk here. Provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by deadfall, has more shots. So your tether has a lot more shots when you use these boots, therefore you're generating more orbs. So that is why it synchronizes with this right here, so we're getting more orbs for obviously the tether. So everything in this build synchronized really nicely. And then for the final piece, which is the most important piece in my opinion, is this right here. Oppressive Darkness, causing damage with a Void Grenade, adds a weaken effect to competence. Now this is definitely the best seasonal perk in my opinion, and it's definitely one you should be running on pretty much every build. And then for the final perk, like I said, while charged with light, gain a bonus to weapon damage. Each defeated combatant consumes 1 stack of charged light. So pretty much what we're going to want to be doing with this build is simply running around collecting orbs and stacking this charge of light for that weapon damage sort of extra. So the weapon we're going to be using pretty much for this is the Last Hope with that buff. So that's pretty much the build. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it from me. I'm going to leave you with some gameplay of this build and show you how good it actually is. If you've got any like critiques or you want to mention them down below, then I'm more than happy to look at them, and we'll see and try and discuss whether there's any improvements on this build. Like I said, the PvE armor isn't the best, so this is what I've got for PvP, but I've managed to get a decent roll. I've told you what you should be aiming for, these 3 right here. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Remember to subscribe, drop a like down below, and I'll leave you with the gameplay.